Here we are, Pat's Acres. Today we're going to teach you guys how to transition. Basically, we got 2 more trash cans similar to our first video where we did the donuts, and we're going to basically do figure eights around them. What this is going to do is allow you to basically do throwing of the wheel and transition and get you some car control in a tight area. This is a little bit tighter than I would normally have you guys do it in, so if you're doing it in a parking lot or at the track, try to get a little bit bigger of a space so you're not smashing into all sorts of stuff. What we're gonna do here, we're gonna do donuts around the first one, get ourselves comfortable in a countersteer drift, and then go ahead and flick it back and do our first transition, so that way you can actually drift left to right, following each other. So go ahead and clutch kick it in, get ourselves spinning around this cone nice and comfortably, and then we're gonna hold the wheel in the countersteer and let the car flick back the other way. After you've got your trash can that you're doing a donut around, you're countersteered, you're pretty comfortable, you're gonna then power away from this side of the trash can, keeping the car at good amounts of angle. You're gonna actually add too much angle pretty much, which will then throw the car towards the left into the next step. So basically we're holding it the other way, letting it flick, and then tossing it back the other way. So keep it countersteered, too long, flick, get it back going the other way. So when you're coming out of that first trash can and you're coming into the second one, right about here is where your car will start actually at that extra angle that you're feeding in towards the left for the left-hand turn here. The car's gonna basically rotate itself around. As soon as you feel it cross over that center point, meaning that you're actually facing straight instead of drifting again, you're still on the gas, you're gonna let go of the wheel and let the car throw itself back. Basically, you want to just let your hands go. Don't pull your hands away or do anything too nuts. Just stay nice and close because you're going to have to grab that wheel again to catch it. So as you transition the wheel, you're going to feel the car rotate itself around, and you're grabbing the wheel again before it gets to full lock. At that point, when you grab the wheel, is going to be down to your throttle foot again. And you're going to be actually powering through it again. When you get on the gas, it's going to project you forward to get more speed. And then when you let off the gas, it will allow you to tuck in and help you from spinning. So again, you're kind of just feathering the throttle just like you would normally do in any other drifting situation, but now after this transition, your car's flicking the other way, and then you're continuing the drift this direction. Keep it too long, flick, go back the other way. And this entire time we're pedaling the throttle to keep the power band in. Too much throttle, and we'll go wide, not enough throttle, and we'll dive in. And we're just, again, holding the wheel to the right like this, holding it, flick it. Let the car do the work for you, and just keep on concentrating on it. So now that you've transitioned back, and hopefully you're not spinning at this point, you're using the throttle to stop yourself from actually over-rotating, and then using the catch of the steering wheel and letting off the gas to stop yourself from spinning out as well. You're now drifting this turn again, similar to the way you would do the donut. Then, you're still now steered right, and you're going to be powering through the same type of deal, oversteering it, meaning you're turning further than you need to drift. The car is again going to transfer its weight back this way, and in the center point, so you're drifting this way, at the center point here, you're then letting go of the wheel and staying on the gas. So that way the car can rotate itself around, and then you're catching it again by using the throttle and your steering input. Keeping the wheel speed up pretty good, flick it and back around. Using the throttle to just kind of keep the wheels just spinning just enough to do it, but not giving it too much throttle in this transition right here so that you spin. So off, on the throttle, on, off during the flick, on the throttle, off during the flick, on the throttle, and we're just letting the wheel do its thing. So tires, big thing. Obviously you're going to use a lot no matter what. One way you can make them last longer is to get a water pit. What that does is it allows the tires to cool down before you go out on your next run, and it allows them to not actually stay as hot for as long. So it prolongs the life of the tire. The other thing is the tire pressures. the higher tire pressure you run, the higher it's gonna raise as the temperature goes up, keeping them cool with a water pit and not sitting in the line going back to go back out again. It'll actually prolong the life and keep your tire pressure a little bit more stable. For this car, we use the same tires all day, every time we're driving. They're 205, 55, 16 tires. Try to keep them as consistent as possible. They're cheap. It's better to buy brand new at 40 bucks a tire than to go and buy 10 used ones and have mounting and all that stuff. It ends up being almost as much anyway. So the tip is definitely to buy consistent tires, keep an eye on your tire pressure, and keep them as cool as possible, whether you're using a water pit, which is very effective, or you're taking a cool down lap. As far as tire pressure, I know some of you had some questions about that. The big thing is you don't want to run so much pressure that the car is sitting on the limiter and you're not able to control it. So this particular car, we're running in excess of 60 PSI in it. Why? Because there's not a lot of power. I don't advise going over 80 PSI because then when it's very hot, it will be over 100 PSI, which could just implode the tire and is kind of unsafe. So if you're spinning out and having issues where you have no problem spinning the tires, but your car's spinning out, lower the tire pressure down in 5 PSI increments until you get to a point where the car's bogging and actually, you have to work for it. Because having more grip is actually going to make the car easier to drive if you're still able to spin the tires. All right, I hope you guys learned how to do figure eights. If you guys have any questions, pop them into the comments. I'll do my best to answer those properly and get you to the track and having some fun. Our next episode is going to teach you how to do this at speed on the track so you can actually link turns and become pro drifter.